Okay, timing is everything, right? Got to get this to start reducing before those start burning. Already got those done. In this pan, I got some 3 links of linguiça, large links of linguiça, really oily, kind of spicy. Then I got 1 can of chicken breast with the water in it, 1 can of pulled pork with the water in it, 1 can of light, large red kidney beans with the juice in it, and the salsa. I need to put the salsa in right now before those potatoes burn. I'll put a little bit of salsa in there. A little bit of salsa right there. It's not a science, right? But I want this to be really spicy, so when I put those potatoes in this reduced sauce here with the meat in it, all that sauce, right before it gets reduced down, I want still some liquid in there, right? I want those potatoes to be soaked in with some of this juice in here. I don't want to reduce it all the way down, right? But I do want it warm, because when it's warm, it will penetrate into the potatoes a little bit better. And then I have another can of rosarita, refried beans there, just traditional. And I put some garlic and onion in there too. Chopped up some garlic and onion and put them in this batch of potatoes here. So I just want to start this reducing. Turn the heat up just a little teeny bit. Just start it reducing. So I want these ones to be pretty crunchy, right? There we go. I want these ones to be a little bit drier than that other batch I made. It just turns out a lot better that we have little surprises in there, right? I put some onion and garlic in here too. I didn't put any salt in it, right? Because the cheese, these potatoes, and that linguiça has some salt in it already. And the cheese is gonna basically have some salt in it too. But it's starting to reduce right now, so it's starting to simmer. That's good. That looks so delicious. I'm gonna put these inside of some burrito shells or tortilla shells, and I'm gonna make some burritos for the coast. Jim and I and a few other buddies are heading out to the ocean because there's a super low tide in a couple days. So I wanted to get this prepared and all ready to go. Start making, I'll make 15 of them. Probably 15 large burritos or medium-sized burritos. So it's just starting to reduce now, see? I don't want to reduce it all the way down because I want some of that liquid to penetrate inside of those potatoes there. But I don't want to burn these, so these can just go straight right in there. Just like that. It's all about timing, man. And turn that one off there. Just like so. My pan's probably going to overfill just a little bit when I put that large can of beans in there. So I want some of that liquid to penetrate inside of these potatoes. So it gets flavor inside of potatoes. Right? I want to totally saturate those hash browns. And there's peppers in the hash brown. I'm going to be putting some cheese on it too, so see that right there? So there's not quite enough liquid in there. Not quite enough liquid, so I'll put some water in there. It's going to need some water anyway, because once I put those beans in there, all that starch is going to all solidify. It's going to set up really fast. So I need a little bit more water in there so that flavor can penetrate those potatoes. Right? Just a little bit more water here. A little bit more water. And my pan is not going to be big enough. Anything can happen in live videos, right? I'm not digging. anything can happen in live videos, right? Hope I don't make a humongous mess when I'm putting those refried beans in here. And then I'll have to work it in there. You know, I'll have to work all these all this meat inside of those beans there. And then I'll start just working it. And I just want to let it sit there for a minute. Just let it sit there for a minute and let all those flavors penetrate inside those inside the potatoes. It makes it taste so much better. And the reason why I don't put any salt in there is because it's going to be really salty if I put any salt in before when I was cooking my potatoes, you know, because the cheese is kind of salty anyway. I like having a low salt diet anyway. I love salt. I love salt, man. Any salty food I will just eat up, but I can't do that because I'll get high blood pressure. My family is it's just in my genes, right? It's in my genes having high blood pressure, but I have really good I have really good blood pressure. I have pretty normal blood pressure. Now, about 7 years ago, I pretty much eliminated salt out of my diet. I stopped putting salt in any of my foods, and I started eating foods that were lower in salt. And this is these kidney beans are the low salt kind. And the kidney beans kind of gives you a little bit of a bite of something kind of crunchy in there, something a little bit harder. The linguiça is soft. The pork is soft. The chicken is soft. And so it's just now saturating. I can see the flavor is going into those little bits of potatoes there, right? I need just a little bit more water here. A little bit more water right there. Because once I stick those beans in there, it's going to set up really fast. It's going to be hard as a rock if I don't put a lot of water in right now. I need some juice, right? All those flavors are not going to penetrate those potatoes if I don't have a lot of juice in there, right? I want that linguiça and that pork flavor to really saturate those potatoes, to penetrate them. And the garlic, you know. Water is a really good carrier for garlic flavoring. So is oil. I put a little bit of olive oil in the potatoes before I started frying them. So that looks pretty good. It's not quite simmered down. It's not quite reduced down. So I'll just go like this. I'll just dump that whole can. Anything can happen. It could splash down on me and the whole thing could land on the ground right now. Or it just might not come out like I was fearing. Let's go like this. There we go. There we go. It's gonna come out here. I can hear it. Come on. Oh yeah. There we go, man. So I'll drop the heat down just a little bit, because it's gonna make a mess, man. I don't have a big enough pan. And these are gonna taste really good, man. Yeah, dude. I might even eat all these before Jim and I go to the coast. Jim might not get any. He's been wanting some the last few months. He says, man, you gotta make some of those burritos, man. And it's a lot of work, you know. It takes quite a while to make these. Normally I would take chicken breast and cook them first, boil them first, right? Boil the chicken breast first, but I'm in kind of a hurry tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect, man. And just a little bit more water in there, because it's gonna set up quick. It's gonna set up super quick, right there. That should be perfect right there. Timing is everything, man. You got to do it just right. I mean, it's not a science, but you learn a few things along the way. You know, these starches set up really fast. If you put all these starches together in the pan all at the same time, it'll just be like a solid piece of concrete. And you won't be able to work all the meats into the beans, right? Because that can of beans had all that starch liquid in it. I didn't drain the beans. I didn't drain the chicken. I didn't drain the pork. So just like that. And I'll just let it sit there for about 20 minutes. Let it sit there for 20 minutes. Turn the heat off. And let it sit there for 20 minutes before I start making these burritos, so it can set up just a little bit. But it's probably gonna set up like hard as a rock, but I just don't have enough room in my pan here. I just need a little bit more water in there. Just a little bit more water, man. Just a little bit more water. Okay, I'll turn the heat off. And I'll stir it up, hopefully without making a humongous mess. And there we go. I've already made a big mess of the kitchen already, but that's fine. I'll clean it up. Oh, this is gonna be so good. All this liquid will reduce, right? Because it's evaporating right now. Just like that. But what I really want is that liquid to penetrate those potatoes just a little bit more. All right. Oh, look at that full pan. Oh, yeah. Bring it on, man. Oh, let's just test it out here real quick and see what we got. It's probably gonna be really hot. Needs more garlic. Like I said, it's not an exact science, right? There you go, Jim. There's some garlic in your diet. Actually, it could probably use a little bit more garlic. That's what I'm thinking. So I'll just let this sit for about 15 minutes. Let it cool down. I don't have enough water in it, so it's gonna be hard as a rock. But, you know. Oh, that's gonna be freaking awesome, man. Yeah, I'm gonna use them on 10-inch tortillas. And it's gonna be epic, man. I haven't made a cooking video in a while, so I do this every once in a while, but it's just so hard, you know, doing the video thing. I have to have everything set out just right, so I don't screw my video up. Because anything can happen when you're cooking, you know. I burn stuff once in a while. Have the smoke alarms go off and whatnot, but, you know, haven't had a steak in a while. Haven't had a steak in a couple months, actually. It's been over 2 months since I had a steak. I had to stop eating steaks there for a while because I'm gaining a little bit of weight, especially since I haven't been working in construction. You know, just digging, just metal tecting every day. I'm going to be gaining a lot of weight here. I keep on eating a lot of steak, so it's not good for my heart either. You know, I was eating a lot of steak last year. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.